Yeah, and then like I was talking about, it's taking up on that Monica Rochelle Walensky, because this is Point Black. I think this is going to be like a part three on this, based on what I was saying earlier when I did that live that I did before. So now today we rocking in on that joint. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to get it right. You know what I'm saying? Doing my thing here. So we're now looking at the whole ideology of what went on based on that whole thing. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at what she's saying, based on sitting up there crying and shit, and acting as if she feels so sorry for these children, when you was rushing and imposing this on the children based on you saying that they have to get it. Now, once they have to get it, and you're seeing that 400 and something kids have passed away due to your negligence. How can you sit up there and say that you crying when you ask these questions? And Pfizer and Moderna and the rest of these big vaccination companies should be ashamed of their goddamn self. Along with a lot of our elected officials, especially the demon Democrats, and that's what they are. They are demons that infiltrated our government, going all the way back to Jim Crow and a whole lot of other slave driving, dumb, stupid banana boat set of clowns. Old niggas. And they hate to come up out of government and stop the bull. Blood sucking son of a woo shit. Shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They should be shaming themselves. Expanding the trials for children 5 to 11 per federal administration request. So the federal administration has passed this with no evidence of no virus anywhere other than the fact that you lied to people and said it was already here, because that's what Como said. That didn't come from Point Blank. It came from Como. And he lied about that because it was never here. It was cracked up to be here and made to believe it was here. You see what I'm saying? Talking about you move infected people from one side to the next, and then when you move them there, you infected the other people too. That's a lie, and we know it. You were testing those people long before we knew it and had a stockpile of this vaccine garbage that the Luciferians had concocted years ago, along with Bill Gates, who was going around spreading it and giving it to foreign countries in Africa, and even doing Ebola while you're down there messing with a little black nigga and sticking him. The guy bending down, he's smiling for the camera. Yeah, look at how he's sticking these niggas in Africa. Yeah, looking all stupid and retarded, and a complete demon amongst us. So Monica Lewinsky sitting up there talking this garbage about children are not supposed to die. She's lying. Because those 400 kids that she's talking about were tested. They did not catch anything anywhere. How much you want to bet you tested those children? And you vaccinated them. Then when somebody says something about your prognosis and your method on YouTube or Facebook, anyway, you take your person channel down. But then when we investigate into the garbage that your channel have done, along with Mark Zuckerberg, you better not dare not, because I'll go on the street and I'll protest this. We're going to want a thorough investigation of all media sites in America. So let's get that clear. You see? If I got to drive and keep this thing going, the issue will come up before the Supreme Court again. If we can prove it, and we're street niggas, there's a lot we can prove. You see, we have the better investigation of power out here because we're out here. You see. So we watching everything she's saying. and she's supposed to be the leader of the CDC. This woman is a Luciferian. I don't know where she get her last name from, but she's a Luciferian if you ask me. I don't trust her, and she needs to be removed. And anyone like her coming up in our government with that garbage and talking about you disease and head of control. No, you're not. You're disease and head of a bunch of garbage. Even when we look at the June 6th Capitol riots and you look at what went on up there, it doesn't make any sense at all. You see what I'm saying? We even looking at California and and how now they have reenact their law mandate that all the city workers must do this. So my thing is, were you trying to collapse our infrastructure? Because if any of this method that you're telling these people to do does not work, you're going to have a lot of city workers out of work and sick. It could collapse our whole system and city. So we've got to look at this thing more carefully. We've got to look at this thing more carefully as to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We've got to. Because we've seen a lot of garbage going on out here. A whole lot of garbage that continues to grow. You know? Even when we've seen even a radio host, he passed away before his wife. I mean, weeks after his wife. But both of them were tested. You see. And the CDC and Rolinsky or whatever her name is, can you answer this question? Before they got tested, were they sick before they came to you and you shoved something up their nose and tested them? Were they sick? They were good, healthy people in good condition. It don't matter what underlying conditions they had. That is something that is a human right for a human. If he has it, he lives with it. You come in with this garbage and you tested them first. So whatever you put up their nose or whatever you did to them, we know that is the cause and the place. That's where we should be tracing at. Instead of talking that garbage while you doing all kinds of shit going on. Yeah, oh yeah. Even when we look at certain situations, we're now looking at, you know, it just doesn't make sense out here. And I don't understand why this lady would come up and go before this hearing and sit up there and lie about, you know, what really took place based on the children and the testing, you know? So we have to look into things like that. Now we're looking at another situation where we have thousands of ships, you know, millions of troops. China is assembling a huge fleet for war in Taiwan. Here we go. And this is the mind of sane people. This is the mind that you say that these color of skin, because they are white, are superior to what? You're not superior to any black person on this here planet. But we have a lot of black dummies that sit amongst them and do the same garbage, so they're just as garbage just as they are. Not in a racist way, but in a way of mind frame of sellouts. And we don't need them. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're looking at they ramping up, you know, a war over there in Taiwan. On the Taiwanese people. What the Taiwanese people did? They want their independence away from you. You continue to move into their territory and do stuff to them. These are sane people. I bet you most of the people that are doing this is white. Just because you have the Egyptian eyes that you call Chinese, which is Egyptian, the raping of the black woman, and you stole her eyes and put white skin on it. You still a white man in China. So that don't give no excuse in my book. You're still doing garbage then, and you're still doing garbage now. To have any chance of conquering Taiwan, China might need to transport many as 2 million troops across through 100 miles to Taiwan. You know, you're serious. This is the world we live in, you see. And these same people try to keep the color of skin bumping and jumping, and everybody's supposed to love them. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got dumb black white people, you got dumb niggas too. It ain't make no difference of color of skin. Like I said, Giuliani said it one time. Usually, when a man is racist, he'll be racist against many different races. But what Giuliani failed to understand when he made that statement, you can't say that to a black person because a black person been persecuted by a lot of races. That's the part he missed when he made that statement years ago. And I think it had to do with the MTA shooting that went on with that black guy. But you could say that to him because that was unnecessary and wrong. But when you say it to everybody who out here have a problem with what's going on, you can't say it to black people. Because black people have been enslaved by just about everyone. The Arabs, you, China, all of y'all coming into Africa raiding and stealing and killing and murdering. So how the hell you gonna say a black person usually racist, he'll be racist to everyone? Yeah, you better rethink that statement more to the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I mean? And stop talking garbage. See, when you was in there getting your little rocks off, it was all good. When you was the governor or whatever you was at the time. You see what I'm saying? So we see a lot of garbage that go on in our world that seems to not being checked. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of, even now you might have even a bunch of lying going on this insurrection junk coming even from the police officers because a lot of them, seem to have even been down with it. So we ain't coming with that shit. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a one big charade. And Nancy Pelosi should not have been in charge of that at all. Because all she going to do is making one stupid mockery. And nobody wants to see that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to see that. You know? You talking about how these people this and how these people that. You are lying. None of these people have received anything less than a test up their nose that caused them to be sick and have to go back to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? But you want to try to make it out to be that it just came out of nowhere. Matter of fact, what kind of tracing is that in the first place? When you're talking about saving lives. You see what I'm saying? You talking about saving lives, but you ain't saying much to me. You know what I'm saying? Because your whole game seems false. You know what I'm saying? But switching subject anyway. Now we see a version. We see a version of concern, but betrayal. On the healthcare workers at the Presbyterian, COVID vaccine mandates on the Presbyterian staff for a large staff to have to be, the staff has actually rallied, using the union, rallied against that whole idea that they have to be mandated into doing this. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't think is right. They should have to make up their own decision, not be forced to, in order to keep their job. So now they're trying to make people unemployed. No wonder the unemployment is going up. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense. They're rallying against, the push. Now we see Gavin in California. He mandating the city workers. You know what I'm saying? We see Bill de Blasio, retarded Luciferian ass. He over here doing the same garbage too. You know what I'm saying? He over here doing the same garbage too. And then when you say something, you don't know anything. Only they know. Excuse me. But the people who telling you, not listening to you, are telling you that they're right, but they don't even know. But I'm still asking them, were you sick before you went and got tested? That's the question. Now, I hear they are giving a 14-year in prison for leak info of a secret act, you know. In other words, it must be a journalist or something that seems to be. I've noticed these stories beginning to come up a lot, where we're finding a lot of spies in our country, or they're saying that spies alleged to be, or is, and saying that they're doing this. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now the people need to really understand what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? You know, because now, we're hearing they are giving 14 years in prison for a leak info using the official Secret Act treaty. You know what I'm saying? Them like using it like foreign spies, saying journalists could face 14 years in prison for leaking information of the press for something like, say somebody gave me information and I put it on my on my channel, and I told the information and it was supposed to be a secret, or it was leaked out and it was supposed to stay a secret, but it was leaked out and the journalist put it on his channel. You know what I'm saying? That right there, they're saying a journalist can get 14 years. Well, my question to that is, if it was a secret, how the hell did it leak out? That's number one. And number two, why should a journalist go for 14 years? This sounds like some Gestapo German shit. Bad news, for the lying liberals. Liberal media. You know what I'm saying? Many don't, and never for years. They have lied, cheat, con, and many more goodies. Misinformation as well. When we look at a whole lot of CNN and all type of liberal news that y'all were pushing out even during the election was misinformation. Even for COVID-19, Cuomo was giving out misinformation. He was lying about the whole damn thing. Nothing of that shit happened. All he did was gave you somebody, scared you, and meanwhile they were vaccinating all the old people, all the defenseless people in the nursing home and hospital, just to give you an account of bodies to say that this is true. So don't come with that garbage. Misinformation. I mean, for years, the list goes on. Taking sides, you know what I'm saying, and not being there for the people at all. Liberal news. Democratic news, I call it. Demon democratic news. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Not even being there for the people. Sending them their children to war after war after war. On and on. Being controlled puppets. They're controlled puppets. Fake news, like Trump said. You know what I'm saying? But acting like it's true. I mean, presenting the news like it's so true. You see what I'm saying? The demon democratic spell you're putting on people's brains that they can't see clear, but I see clear past your ass. You know what I'm saying? Acting like as if their news is so true. Faking, and promoting fake image. Fake image. So don't come with that garbage. Don't come with that garbage. Even present a fake image. You know what I mean? Chaotic bullshit. Many who got hurt by liberal bad news. Shall I go on? I mean, let's really look at this thing from what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? I can go on for days. I could go on for days. How we know? Just look. How we know? Just look at the election that passed by. Actually, look at the election past and present. Lindsey Graham talking about the Republican might take over the Congress House, for the first time in 40 years. So who was running the House, the Congress House, for the 40 years that you talking about? Because I was 40 years of straight Democratic demon crap shit. No wonder everything, factory, store, all that is in China. You know what I'm saying? Don't come. You know what I'm saying? You see? Just look at it past and present. even for the last 2 years. Some medias, you know what I'm saying, are complete poppy show. Really? A lying machine. You know what I mean? Not all, but most. Not all, but most. And you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And we know who they are. But I say, you know, we need to get back. We need to get back our news where we get good news. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Point Black news, you know what I'm saying, I get blocked. And many others censored, but bullshit news shine like a dime. Now we see. Now we see. Now we see Black Lives Matter coming in. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter, you know, saying the American flag. You know what I'm saying? I guess you're trying to get some points in here. Saying that the American flag is a flag of hate. Well, I don't agree with the Black Lives Matter, and I never will. The garbage that went on and that I don't agree with you. But on this point, I have to agree with him. The flag is a flag of hate and used by many to project hate and to be the flag of their hatred. You see what I'm saying? Like the white man marches on. You know what I'm saying? And he is right. And he has a truth to what he said, what he said. We must face the facts and reality of it. Time to save. Now, Black Lives Matter raised a good point, and I agree with Black Lives Matter on this situation, but we have to straighten it out. We cannot let others do that. Too many people coming to this country with this bullshit. And you have taken over the values of the United States for bullshit and a joke. And I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of it. Our country is strong, and that flag belongs to us. I don't care if Bessie right or not. We grew up under that flag, and that flag is ours. We'll fight for the land, not just the flag. You know what I'm saying? Real patriots. You know what I'm saying? Real patriots. I agree with Black Lives for many reasons, but he is right on this one. Now, how long is, or how long this will be denied, as a matter of fact. And that would be the next subject that I might be coming up on the next joint when I come back in. So this is Point Black saying, stay with me. You know what I'm saying? We coming up on it. On the next joint, I'll be dropping on this. Because now we can expect stories of refusal popping up all over. You know what I'm saying? Using what seems to have a truth to it. But, and not the whole truth. But it's not the whole truth. Like, you know what I'm saying, The Hill. Reports say, you know, black couples who died from refusal of the vaccine. Because, you know what I'm saying, of the notorious U.S. government program, you know what I'm saying, died of COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? So Point Black will be coming back in. Stay tuned. I'll be coming with another joint. Rastafari, you know how I do. Blessed, use your mind. See forth what you see and not what people tell you. Seek your own research and not someone else's. No matter how hard it may be, that is something we must do. This is Point Black saying, one to you.